What's up, guys? This is Child Support School. Class is in session. Today I'm going to make a quick video about how is child support even calculated, right? So, there's all this talk about, child support. I mean, there's just so many parents out there who are on child support who don't even really understand or have any idea how it's even calculated. Knowing how it's calculated can really help you, not just if you're going through the process for the first time, but maybe there's something that changes in your situation or the other parent's situation, and you're going to need to know if that's something that is going to be substantial enough for you to get a modification or something like that. All right, so before I start, if you haven't already, please hit that thumbs up icon. That helps us out with the YouTube algorithm. If you are not already subscribed to this channel, I am making videos like this all the time on, understanding child support, child custody issues, battle tactics, strategy, all that stuff, free on this channel. So if you haven't already subscribed, go ahead and do that now. All right. So, child support. Now, everywhere that you go, there's going to be some little subtle differences in how this is done, okay? But for the most part, this is going to be pretty consistent, like everywhere you go. So child support is going to be calculated based mainly, first and foremost, on the income of each parent, right? So you plug in dad's income, you plug in mom's income, right? So income's going to include anything that is of a reoccurring nature, right? So for that's VA disability, it's Social Security disability, it's tips, it's overtime at your job, it's working for DoorDash, those couple hours a week that you do Uber driving, all that stuff in addition to your day job. It can also be money that you're getting from family, money that they're giving you to pay your bills. That can be imputed to you as income for child support calculation purposes. So I'm going to make another video just on like what can be income, because there's a whole lot of things that can count as income. All right, so first off, you plug in mom and dad's income, and you plug in how many overnights the kids spend with each parent. Okay. That, other than incomes, the number of overnights is the other biggest influencer on what the child support payment's going to actually be. So, like, if dad has 50-50, right, with the kids, his child support is going to be way lower than if he has just every other weekend, right? And so every mom wants every dad to have only every other weekend, and every dad wants to have at least 50-50. And that's like the age-old, conflict in these cases. And so the thing to remember is, generally, the more overnights you have, the lower your child support's going to be. And the theory there is, you have the kids with you more often, you're spending more money on food for them, you're spending more on, gas to drive them around, utilities to heat and cool, and food and all that stuff. And so you get this offset, this reduction in the child support calculations. All right, so you got the incomes of the parents, you got the number of overnights that each parent has, and the next is going to be any deductions, right? So that's going to be the amount that each parent pays for their health insurance premium for themselves. They get a credit in that calculation. It's not dollar for dollar, but it helps. And when you're working on a child support case, when you're litigating child support, you want to move that needle in your favor as much as you can, even if it's an inch at a time. So you always include the amount that you pay for your own health insurance. There's a place for that in the calculations, and the child's health insurance. If you're the one paying that, you want to make sure that's included there too, because you do get an offset, a credit for the amount that you pay for the child's health insurance. Okay, daycare costs. All right, if you have a child who is in daycare or before school care or after school care, or maybe you had to go on care.com and you had to get a babysitter 2 days a week because you work nights, and any kind of child care that you need to facilitate you going to work to make money to provide for your child, that is a good child care cost that can and should be included. Another one that most people and even most lawyers forget to mention is if you have time with your kid during the summer and you put them in summer camps, man, don't forget to add that. If you spend $1,000 each summer on summer camp, man, take that $1,000, divide it by 12, and put that number in there for your monthly child care costs, or add it to your other child care costs, because that's relevant. I mean, that goes there. Don't forget that. And then aside from that, whichever parent is claiming the child for tax purposes, right? They're gonna get an extra bomb of money at the end of the year at tax time for claiming the child. And so, you know, that has to go into calculations too. So if it's mom that's claiming your kid for tax purposes, that needs to go into calculation, because guess what? Mom's going to get an extra $1,500, $2,000, whatever it's going to be in her tax refund, and that absolutely goes in and gets added to her income. So usually when the other parent's claiming the kid for taxes, then that means your child support's going to go down a little bit. And I'm not talking about $1 or $2. In most cases, it moves down enough to make a difference where you can feel the weight of your wallet getting heavier each month. And that's what we want, right? So, so by and large, that is how child support's going to be calculated. You know, we use a pretty expensive, pretty complex software that we pay a subscription fee every month to use. Using these free online child support calculators, I mean, it's okay to give you an idea of what kind of range you might be looking at. But if you're getting ready to go to a hearing, you don't want to go in with just like a readout from a free online calculator, because usually there's going to be intricate data that those calculators aren't really programmed or coded to take in. And so, you know, the judges use different ones, you know, and it's going to be different every state and every jurisdiction you go in. So, I mean, it's probably going to be worth, you know, paying a few bucks for a subscription to a more in-depth child support calculator, and then just cancel it. Find one that doesn't have a contract, that's just month to month, and then when your case is over, just cancel it. But you might need to use it a few times. So that's my recommendation there. Yeah, I'm going to make more videos on actually calculating child support on this channel, and so you know, be on the lookout for that. All right, guys. So listen, I appreciate you hanging through to the end. Again, if you haven't already, hit that like button. That helps us out tremendously. And if you have not already subscribed to this channel, please do so. You know, it helps us out, and plus, you know, I'm putting as much free information out to help people as I possibly can. Again, once we get to a certain number of subs on this channel, subscribers, I'm going to be able to add a membership option where there's going to be more in-depth, you know, how-tos and walkthroughs and more in-depth strategic information, you know, eligible for members. And so when that's up and that's live, I'm going to link to it in the description. Until then, guys, class is dismissed. I'll see you in the next one.